Let me kill the music. Good evening, 14 people. How you guys doing? Away, Theo. What you say, my man? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. It's Thursday night. It's 10 o'clock. That means it's the meetup with me. Thanks to Craigie G playing us out there with us the Don't Leave. He's showing us that he doesn't want to leave. That's what DJs do. They play songs that make it feel like you don't want him to leave. They want him to stay. Tuned in from Kenya. What up, David? David Adu. What's happening, bro? Welcome from Kenya, Nairobi. Big up all fans like me. Big up to the rest of Nairobi. Away, Tony. Our Zaps. What kind of Zaps? You got airtime, my man. Byron Jean Pierre says good evening, which is a formal way of greeting if you're trying to impress a girl, I guess. Happy to see my people from the hometown is in the sections. Those that know me know that I stand for Newlands. That's my thing. I'm happy to be here. It's been a chill week, man. Lots of things have been happening. So we've been like last week we were involved, and then we just got out of it, and then just as we got out of it, the hair thing started, and now we're all back involved again. And because colored people, we've always been about the hair thing, right? The hair thing, we as a people, we've always used the hair. What kind? Anthony Ants Brissett, what you say, Machi? And the hair thing is we've used it like all our lives in a negative way, right? Because people used to even say, hey, when you meet a new girl, whatever, they used to be like, hey, you must make sure the hair, that's the first thing, the hair. Or else the mother, you would say, hey, this child likes to spend hours with their hair. Remember, they even tease you, look like you roll your hair with rice. Do you know how tight your hair must be to roll it with rice? So and now Clicks got involved. And the thing is, Clicks, they said that Clicks was like everyone's fighting with Clicks, right? And I mean, Clicks wasn't even involved. It was Chesame. So now they have to move their fight over to Unilever. So now if you move your fight over to Unilever, how are they gonna move your fight to Unilever? Because now all of a sudden, if you decide as the AFF to work, whoever, now you're gonna fight Unilever. You can't fight Unilever because Unilever is the Freemasons. Do you know what I'm saying? Unilever owns all the things, Head and Shoulders, Norox. No Norox, no life. Do you know what I'm saying? Now you want to fight with you see, you must choose your fight. It's like you can't go to someone's house and say to the father, listen here, I've got a problem with your son. Only, no jumping. That's what happens, right? You can't jump. Now you're gonna fight, you can't fight if you're gonna fight the house, and if you fight Unilever, there's nothing left. You can't dial a soup, you can't wash your hair. You get no lotion, there's no Nivea, there's no sunblock, Nivea, because they own all these things. So now the fight is in the wrong. Now you decide, hey, no, look here. You come to the police posy, you check, hey, no, this police is too big, I can't fight him. You just go next door and start bashing the neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Now I see. How's it, Cian? Long time no smell. So Cian says, I can show comments. I only learned this now, so I'm bad. I got lost in Newlands today, which is impossible. It's impossible to get lost in Newlands. There's only one road. Like there's one main road that goes all the way through, and then you turn off wherever you need to be. Like, how do you get lost in Newlands? Because Newlands is only you either come in like the old section or you come in the new section, and if you get lost in Newlands, you must have been walking. So I think CN was walking around trying to catch a story. You know, it's Wednesday. You're walking around hoping to meet up, and then you can put it in the paper tomorrow. Hey, I met up in the East last night. Hello, Francine Walters. Is that you waving? All his hands waving? Because I'm not a social media. Now I've become a social media guy because now you blame GPS. A colored person using GPS in Newlands. Yes. Where did you grow up, CN? I can't Craigie G. Away Kabir Singh. If you use let's like going to Wentworth, like if you get lost in Newlands, I can't imagine what will happen to you in Wentworth. Because once you start eating dromedars and because the roads start becoming Alabama, you get lost. Like you have to follow your nose when you get to the Wentworth. So getting lost, I went to fetch chili paste. You just make it this thing worse. Now she went to Newlands to fetch chili paste and she didn't know the speed bumps. Oh, the speed bumps confused her. Oh, okay. So did you pay for the chili paste, or was the chili paste the Pancela chili paste? because now because now we're out here fighting. We still now saying now we're fighting with Unilever now, especially now the people in Newlands, because Unilever's right there. Do you know what I'm saying? Before Newlands, I used to say Newlands is a farm, and I used to fight that. I didn't even know about this until later on in life. Also Menzies will just say, "Hey, Newlands is a farm." Then I was like, "What you mean it's a farm?" Just because we got the sugar cane, and the sugar cane services everybody. So I was like, "Bro, you calling Newlands a farm, but you chowing our sugar cane." But now when I go to Newlands, there's one, two cows walking around here. The birds are Norox. Newlands now only smells of Norox, strictly a Norox thing. So we've kind of changed. Got back from Thursday, made it in time. What can get at Christmas? See, and so colored people that don't know their way around colored areas, it's an embarrassment to other colored people. But then you get out because you can easily get, if you break down in Newlands, you must rather leave your car and start walking until, because there's a lot of people here in thing from Newlands. So I was talking about the fact that now we're fighting Unilever, and also now realize that they're going to, I saw that they want to get rid of this thing. Going to get rid of streaming on Facebook now, which is crazy, right? Because I mean, this is only like my third show, bro. So like they want to chase us out of here, which is strange for me because why are they all of a sudden so interested? Because they're not able to quell other things. There's other diseases, like other people like that are making money on this platform, right? From selling Fonconian. But these people selling Fong Kong sneakers, Fong Kong jackets, Fong Kong TVs. It's all right here. They can click onto marketplace right now, and there's also selling Jordan ones for like 50 rand, or the new Nike that came out yesterday for 35 rand. And people are buying these things. Like, I don't even understand. Like, I don't understand how is the Hong Kong market so big? Like, who are these Hong Kong kings? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because I won't wear Hong Kong, not because it's below me. It's just, it's below me because I would rather buy a full price, Mr. Price, or whatever brand that's in my bracket, right? Because I also remember, like when I was young, I guess I wanted to. Everybody wants to dress like everybody's wearing new Nikes, or your friends are all wearing whatever. If your Bali can only afford the All Star, Slana All Star, bruh. Because now you're buying the Hong Kong, then you wear the Hong Kong. The Hong Kong gets hit in the rain. My man, that thing harmless. Have you ever been? Sometimes you jump in a taxi with a Hong Kong sneaker on. The whole taxi knows your sneakers are Hong Kong. Because now you're humming, bruh. Like they are humming, bruh. Because there's even a song called Hong Kong. Um, so that I've got Chit, I can't be Hong Kong. Like there's people, like I don't understand why Facebook can't close the Hong Kong stores down. You know what I'm saying? Like this is for them, this is too much communication. I blame those people that's all those people that start the 5G, those people that start all these conspiracy theories. They're the ones who cause the shit because we're doing friendly things. We're having a chat, we're listening to music, it's a great time. Then what kind Kelly's? Then you get these other people, they're probably doing the propaganda. You know, those propaganda fools, they want to come onto everywhere, talk propaganda, and then there's other people following them up with the propaganda, and then Facebook is like, yeah, everybody's propaganda. Who knows how to switch off the subtitles on this thing? Because this, you know, I speak a very well. This English is this English is the English I learned in school. This is when I say an apple, I don't say a apple, and then this thing gets confused. It tunes a banana. What kind Kabir? So before I'm gonna bring on a guest in a minute. So now I like chatting with my brass. But before I do, I'm gonna put a bit of music on just to get you guys into that Thursday. I don't know what music he likes listening to, but I'm gonna play something that I think it's just good for now. I won't speak while the song is playing. Warren Chinappers, yeah. I wear my man chin ups. You back? At least it didn't make you scared last week. Let me just play a song. Let's chill a bit, and then I'll bring my guest on. Away. If it would play. This is network vibes. Break. All right, so I'm gonna kill the music before somebody gets stabbed. You know the story. I can use another track, but then I'm going to bring on my guy. So I read something today about how I didn't even know that this stereotype exists about like how English Afrikaans speaking colored people are superior to English speaking colored people. I saw this post today and I was like, nah, bruh, this is shit that you're starting. see now, because colored people, not we you know, the colored person is the master at. We are the masters at staying in our lane. Do you know what I mean? We will stay in our lane. We will stand outside the door, see something that is horrific, and just walk past, go home, drink tea, sleep, wake up the next day, and then start thinking about it. Now, what's happening now is like there's so much drama going on. And the only time they're seeing us is when we we are Jola 99. It was either that girl from Eldo's who was saying "Yes, your nanas," or else it's Jada Day in Newlands swearing the people, and the subtitles don't even go to swearing. So now they're seeing us, but we're not involved, right? Then they got the Black Lives Matter. Then they say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter," but you're not involved in Black Lives Matter because now when you want to be black, you want to be white. I'm like, and we just worried about nothing. We're staying in a lane. Now what they're doing, trying to turn us against each other by saying, "Oh, you think Afrikaans speaking colored people are more superior to the." I'm like, bruh, come on, man. So what I'm gonna so funny enough, my man that I have on today, the first thing you notice about him, he's got a high energy levels, which is dope for what we do. And we went into, but we'll talk about all that. But he's Afrikaans, like his upbringing is very different to our upbringing in, well, I guess Newlands, Durban, which is like colored people, we live differently in, it's differently and the same all over the country. So I don't have the thing to make it like a party theme, but I'm gonna bring him on, ladies and gents. My third guest for the meetup. This is my boy, all the way from, he's in Joseph, but all the way from Hanky. It's Alfred Adriaan. Put some claps there. Oh hey,
Hello.
oh hey.
I've had a great time. I've got some points. I've made notes here.
I saw you writing.
I was like, we say Hong Kong so easily. I'm sure in this new age it must be racist. It sounds too funny. When things are that funny and delicious to say, it's wrong.
You're right though.
Oh,
You're right. You're
never.
right.
It can never be not racist. Somebody somewhere is right now complaining. Right now, I can feel the auntie typing. I can feel it on my skin.
It's like food. It's like food, right? Like anything that tastes nice, you know, this is fucking up your body. Like if it tastes good, you're dying right now.
The other day, you know, when everyone was on this vegan thing, then I found that vegan burger, that best burger, expensive, delicious. Then a week later, I read this thing is terrible, it's full of salt. I was like, I can't win. And then I love the part where you said, I'm not saying Hong Kong is beneath me, but Hong Kong is beneath me. I was like, when you said that first sentence, in a split second, I was like, my bra's lying. He's lying. I've never seen him with a majat, anything. His life is don't even wear a fucking. You don't even put a Woolworths tacky on your lighty because you can scratch and standards. Your sister said hello. I haven't seen her for so long. I miss these people.
Yeah, bro. Say good night. Who's people? Someone said say good night to Natalie for me. I don't know if you know this person. Is this a normal? Is this normal?
Bro, my people they're everywhere. Over lockdown, I've become more popular, which is weird because I was in a fucking house the whole time for 9 years. You know, I've been in clubs every day. No one knows me.
Right.
5 months locked up. Now more people know me. So
because you've been taking advantage, bro. You've been like just recording yourself making tea and you're like 3,000 views. Like
it's from panic, Richie. Pure panic. Pure. I was sitting at home going, hey, what are we gonna? A month? I thought it was gonna be a month, then 2 months. Then I was like, hey. Then I was like, I must do something. I started making jokes on the thing and bang.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for me, I was like, bro. Like I was just like, nah. Like every time I looked at myself in my own phone, I was like, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
I know you are a purist. You sit down, you write, you plan, you do gigs publicly. There's phone business. You must got an old soul. You got an old soul.
Because I'm an old person.
You're a Bali, but a Bali with a 90s vibe. You know what I mean? Every techie and tap, everything's from the 90s. You would have been back modern if it was 92. Starter jacket. You know, lighties don't even know what a starter jacket is. The only Owens that go, yo, are Dirk Ballies. Dirk Owens like me, fat, that couldn't afford it back then. Look at you with me. The lighties are like, this is uncle in a Technicolor blue jacket.
You got me. And that's for real, man. Like, in a walkout house, like, yo, if I could just time travel right now back to 1995, I would just look the same.
Just blend in. My thing is, I feel for you and for Neil Green because gout is going to eat you sometime. And you know these 1992 techies, they're not made for that lifestyle, eh? You're gonna see the two of you with a tight campus from classic fucking Jordan. Can't walk with a square. Just why are you crippled? No, gout because you don't want new technology in Richie.
Shit. That's funny, bro.
Thanks for having me on. We haven't even started speaking yet.
Yo, I was about to call you a farmer now because you're going into hard and like, no, these farmers don't know nothing about starter jackets.
No, I am a farmer. You said that thing about Afrikaans. You said that thing about Afrikaans colors being superior. That's rubbish. My whole life, when you're Afrikaans, they call you a plasnar. Hey, it's proven.
At home?
Yeah, bro. My whole life I was called a plasnar, but I also come from the plas, so it could be.
It was interchangeable.
They always used to look down upon us in PE. We'd go like, yeah, the brass was flat. They used to say, you're very flat. Then you know. English always that loose tongue with Afrikaans.
So give us a bit of history, bro, because like I said, you're from Hanky. Like the only time I heard about Hanky was when you were the person who introduced me to like the thing. I've been to your house, whatever. So tell the people about Alfred. Like, tell us about Hanky. What is Hanky? Like, it's something that
you've been there. You guys tease me. I still have the picture with you photo bombing me by that pole. I'm from a small town in the Eastern Cape called Hanky. Now it's about 70 k's just outside of Port Elizabeth. But when I say outside of Port Elizabeth, it's not like Joburg, Pretoria. It's not like Durban, Pietermaritzburg, where you sort of see buildings and it's gone. If you drive at night, there's a point where there's no lights, and if you break down, you are the hills of ice. It's that. And then the small town, that's where I'm from.
I remember that. Like, and tell us about your colored community, because the thing is, most of the people that are listening and know are from Durban, and we grew up in this literally the same vibes, right? Where we went to the same clubs and we met around the same places. We saw the same drama, that type of shit. Tell us about like, is there a colored community there? Because remember when we were there, it was literally dead ones, right? Tell us about yours. How's the Brainos in Hanky?
Listen, so the Brainos, I say Brainos, you see how quickly I take on your bloody thing. We don't say Brainos to start off with. So, colored people in the Eastern Cape is very different from Durban. Like, Durban is a very unique culture. Like, it's very like, it's so different from what we know. So like, and also Joburg also very different from what we know. So like colored people there's a big colored community in Port Elizabeth. There's a huge colored community where I'm from. But then you must also distinguish between people that are more upwardly mobile, have money, and people that may not have a lot. Now in the Eastern Cape, there's a lot of people way under the breadline. So when you go to Newlands, when I went to visit you there by your mother-in-law's house, or I've been to your sissy's house or whatever, people don't understand. You guys come from what we would call a poor community. But that community you from is a rich community to us. Got a car. Wealth. You bought a taxi every year. Once every year you bought a taxi. Money running out of your bum. So like from Hanky, we obviously like it's a farming community, so people are generally not as affluent as the city people. But even Port Elizabeth city people, the culture is very different from the Durban culture. But yet, like you said, so much is the same because we all have the same living experience in this country. Right. So somehow there's always some thread that binds us, and that thread it's quite thick.
Right, yeah. So like, if this has been my finding, like going around, to, because you know what I find strange about how we are. Like for me, when I go to a new city, I always end up in a spot or an area or a place that's kind of similar to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to the top. I don't end up in the top end club there where you
Mm.
buying a whiskey for 800 rand and
Really,
everybody's
yeah.
wearing Louis Vuitton jackets. I end up in like a tavern
So you
with people I
always
don't
find
know.
the skit, the colored skit. That's not. It's not quite a tavern, but it's just above a tavern.
Yeah. They search you by the door. Like
Yeah.
there's a distinguishing thing. Because I remember when we
You walk in and you get that distinct feeling that your life is in danger. You don't know who's who here, but that over the duck chain and a duck earring, maybe you must leave his cherry alone. Your choice that time.
right.
You
And
always very
so
aware of where the door, where's the exits? There. Okay. You never
yeah,
go
but then
on your own. You always find a bra from the town to go with.
of course, yeah. Like but I won't lie to you, I was down in I was in East London, right? Did a gig in East London, and after the show, like they text you home, like after the gig's done, they're like, okay, come, let's go. So I was chilling with these three dudes, and they say, so they say to me, yo, we're leaving, we're taking you back to the accommodation. So this dude's like, don't leave, dog. I'll take you. I'm talking about, I don't know this Obra. Then I look at him, then he's like, three of them, they're like, don't worry. Bro, I stayed. Next thing I go, now you jump me.
And yeah,
They're racing their cars, and I'm inside there. I'm like, if I had to be involved in a high-speed accident at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning in East London, it's gonna look suspicious, bro.
what
No
is
one's
your wife
gonna.
gonna say? What?
Yeah.
She was in where? Richie doesn't even let me drive. What? They drag me. They drag me.
These all took me to a place, but they took me to like a hotel that they downplayed it, right? They're like, it's just a hotel. They converted the foyer into like a bar, that type of vibe. So I had my illusion in my mind was like it's a hotel type of. But when I got there, it was what you would call a skit. You know, when you get to your car and you pour a drink at the car, so they pour a drink at the car, and you don't drink it by the car. This place is so dodgy. We just walked in. That's it. I knew this place is the high danger zone. Way
Dude,
too many colored people.
me and you, we've been on the road. We've seen more places in this country, especially small places, than most people see.
Right.
In a town, I'm from the Eastern Cape, but East London is very far from Port Elizabeth. So I don't know the lay of the land. I've done those gigs you're talking about. I am not getting into that car because you know why? It's not like in Joburg where I can move with you if I see you dodgy, Uber home. East
Yeah.
London is no Uber, guy. You are
There's
here
no
now.
Uber.
And now who you gonna call? You can't go, hey, Richie, come get me, man. I'm stuck here. There's no one. You don't know people.
Nah, I had that distinct feeling, bro. When I walked into that spot, like I all got beat up. You know when last I've been in a place where someone got beat up, but like next to me. Like when I say next to me, they all got slapped, and that the sound from the slap hurt my ear. That's how close he was. It's like, bah! It's like, what is going on? And then the other dude is laughing. He's like, hey, we lost him. I'm like, but it's not funny for me right now.
It sounds
Let's go
very
outside.
Buffalo Flats to me. He's landed at Buffalo Flats vibes.
I'm gonna play a song. What music do you like, Alfred? I can't.
One of your things. All that stuff, that track you just play with Ice Cube. Oof. Today was a good day. I envy you, Richie. I also want a starter jacket. I also want a black top. And Richie knows places where you can find the original lace for a Campus 92. So the music, same. Just 115 the things I'm fat.
Hey. You want to keep it hip hop or you want to play some dance music? Tell me how you're feeling.
Hip hop. Hip hop.
All right, cool. I'm gonna play this one. I like this one. This is the first song. This is the song that introduced me to the Notorious B.I.G. and I was still like in high school. And from then I always loved it. And it goes like this. Away. That was the Notorious B.I.G. baby.
Such a good song. Tell me, because we had this conversation. You asked me, you are very into Biggie. I know that.
Right.
And was in Durban when that East Coast West Coast thing was happening, and we were all mal. In PE, we were very Tupac mal.
Right.
Durban very notorious BIG mal.
No, Durban, it was strange because there's a lot of people that want to be gangsters, right? So they didn't associate the music with the music. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people, so in the club, they would play Hit 'em Up. And, bro, I'll tell you something. You want to stand clear of the dance floor when Hit 'em Up starts. You know, once you just hear that intro,
Yeah.
and then it gets into the dog. Then you get everybody just doing this and pointing at each other and rapping hard. Like someone's looking at you. Looking at you in your face, they be like, first no, fuck it. I'm like, yo, right. Let me go to the bar. Go hang out to the bar.
It's a recipe for disaster. Like I used to go to a club. I loved a club. You know how you know a club is amazing is when you know they shot a brat dead last week there, but it makes no difference. We're going on Friday.
Yeah,
that's how. So like you go, and then one day I told my friend, I was like, you realize that there was in Godfather, which was a lot of fun. There are no exits. I say, like, if there's a gunshot or fire, we all have to go through this door. And the place is packed, bruh. And then when you walk in, you get that, like we spoke about earlier, you can see there's a dress code, but some owns. He's just in a chain and a Billabong t-shirt. Just, that's the bruh.
We had one.
Mathematics must stay away from that.
Now we had a place like that, bro. We had a place called Xanadu that was Xanadu. I'm sure there's a lot of people that even hate the sound of that word Xanadu because of how many people went in and they didn't leave. They didn't leave. And the weird thing though is like the music there was legit, bro. The music was proper. They used to only play like disco music and like old school. But I'm talking about going to the club and you can hear like Earth, Wind and Fire and the Stylistics and like it was that vibe. But you can die to the Stylistics, which was like a very dark.
That's the sad part, that the best, prettiest girls, best vibe was at those clubs. And then you went, yeah.
Do you know this Godfather?
Yeah, we're speaking about Godfather. I took you to Godfather, but
that's the one where we had yes, you had like a smally time VIP treatment when you got there.
Yes, but then it was empty because it goes through its phases, and like it goes very hot, right? And then when I took you guys, it was in an off stage. You know how clubs are, they're up and down. But Godfather has been the most consistent over the years in PE.
Right.
For my generation, there were other clubs before, like Golden Fountain and all those places. But
it's like Kim by Nights. What's the one? Kim by Nights.
Kim by Night. Kim by Night is still there. Remember that day? You could buy a burger in the club.
Inside the jeweler was selling like nan, but it wasn't. It's a curry burger inside, like a chicken.
Oh, brother, it's a meal. It's a meal. It's almost a grill. Just, I was like,
and the place is smoky. Dude. So tell me now, you how's it now? I haven't spoken to you really now since I saw the other day I was watching a video of yours, and I saw your boy in the background there, busy banging the table, and you shouted at him or something. How's it been now? Now that how old is your boy?
He's 2. He's turning 3 next year.
Turning 3. So he's the perfect age now. How's it been like? If you think about your Bali, I know your Bali, right? And then think about you now. And how is it aligning now? How you were brought up compared to how you are bringing up? Is it the same?
No, you know what? There are certain things that I realize I'm so similar to my father, right? And it's it's things like my mom was always the one that kept us in line with the day to day. My father was a panel beater. He only came in for the big stuff. You know what I mean? Not for dents and things. He came in. He was mostly told he was a great guy, but when he came in with that rubber hammer, it was ugly. So I feel a lot like that. And I go like, his mom is on his day to day. You can see he's when I'm around, it's party time, but he knows when I'm angry. I'm angry. Where he still takes charges with his mother. But so there's a lot of things you see about yourself and your father, and you appreciate. I appreciate my parents a lot more now, because I was like, yo, this thing. It's not just about providing for a life, but also just like to keep order every day, day in, day out. It's discipline, dude. Like you have to be disciplined, keeping us like discipline.
Right, right. And
They learn quickly. They see your weaknesses. It's like he's Sean Connery and I'm the Rock. You know what I mean? He's always looking. Where's the hole? You know, it's always like that.
and
So yeah,
how's his mouth though? Does he is he back chatty or hello
he
Singapore?
he's stubborn. He's a stubborn. He's a stubborn, bruh. And he tests you. You know what I mean? He tests you. You can see he's testing the
Right.
boundaries. Yeah. So he's a cheeky one. He's cheeky, bruh. It's too and
Yeah.
he's very cheeky. Yeah.
Like you don't you wonder where does he get it from? Because like for me, I'm the same. Like my will drive me mad. Like I say something to him, like I say, listen here, I'm gonna end up losing my mind now because every time I talk, nothing's happening, and you keep
Yeah.
doing the same thing, and then you'll chill, right? You'll chill for like a little while, and then you'll walk away, and you'll leave me to simmer for like 3 to 5 minutes. Then you come back and do the most random thing, right? Like you'll take jam and rub it on the couch or something random. Then I look, I'm like, what are you doing? Then you'll say to me, are you losing your mind now? Is this losing? Are you losing your mind? I'm like, yes, sis, bro. I'm like, how? I'm like, I can't even
Like,
lose my mind.
yeah, but my lighty does this thing where he does the same stuff, same vibe. Where he comes back, he'll do the same kind of thing, and then, but he's figured out that saying sorry in a cute way gets him off. He goes, "Sorry, daddy." I said, "Bruh, you can't say sorry 6 times for the same thing and then do it exactly. You don't even wait 2 minutes. You're on the same thing, nah, bruh." And
So yeah,
all this
that's what
time,
it's
made it different because I'm like, I'm here all the time now. Like I'm literally here all the time. So
right.
he
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
He has no respect for work for me. He's there. He knows
yeah.
I'm here. He's knocking, and he's knocking. He won't stop. I must go out and say to the nanny, "Hey man, look, I'm actually working here. This is how I pay you."
Right, right. Because you're also busy. So let's talk about comedy. Do you want to play another song before you do talk about comedy? Because I think you got a lot to say about comedy, yeah.
Go for it and listen. I'm having the best time I've ever had on one of these things. Really, bro. You know, Owens have called me. I've had interviews where I go, yeah. You can see I'm
Hey.
blazing off. You know what I mean? That interview. Ah, yes, yes, yes. And I just say the last one. You said yes.
Oh yeah.
In interview.
This is one from Modern G, and it goes like this. that's warranty so many ways.
I always
And
we sing with, but what does that cherry say? Shoga Paliga. What is that?
I'm not. It's a, should I believe? Yeah. Because I don't understand. Because he said he shifts from first to second cruise control.
Yeah.
Is it cruise control or is he shifting? Because cruise
Yes.
control is.
Did it make a difference? That was probably one of the coolest. It still is. In fact, I'm gonna download it tonight or stream it to my phone tonight because I'm listening to that album. Regulators on it was amazing. That is
the G-Funk. The album is dope. So that's what I do. So I don't, instead of downloading, so I just load the thing onto my playlist. Then I stream it when I want to listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's always there. So if I want to, I just filter through it.
Yeah, then you get a lekker surprise when it comes in the loop.
Oh yeah. So I want to talk about comedy now, brah. So I remember meeting you around 2012, right?
Yes.
Thereabouts.
12.
Not there. Yeah. And so for those who are listening, Alfred sent me an inbox on Facebook long before the DMs. This is long before sliding into the DMs was a thing. Alfred slid into my DMs and he's like, I can't remember, but weirdly every now and again that message comes up because sometimes I don't know how these things work. He's like, yo, bro, I think I saw you at Parker's, right? I saw you at Parker's and we chatted a bit.
When I started, you were in the thing. You were the guy already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You people don't know this, but Richie, I will say it for you. Richie helped a lot of people. So I was standing on the outside looking in, and I'm talking about Goliath, and Goliath wasn't a thing at all. Richie helped him on, and then so I was like, hey, how do I this guy? So you emailed the guys that you thought were doing well and that you saw being comedians. And it was clear like who were players and who weren't players. And so like I sent out mails to people because you don't know where and what you're doing. You have no idea. You're just out there hanging around like a weird, like a creepy, staring a bit too long.
And then so you sent me an inbox and it was like it was pretty normal, but it was like, yo, but you didn't actually say that. You didn't really say anything about comedy too much. You're like, yo, I just want to meet up. Like it was, I want to be a friend and chill. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I was weirded out.
I didn't know you at all.
I was weirded out. So I was like, okay, because I'm not that guy, but I've got like 8 friends, and I don't venture out too much looking for friends, right? And then push came to shove, I saw you quite often after that. Mainly at Parker's, and then you got into comedy, right? And you were in advertising.
I was in marketing. For 11 years.
Yeah. So this whole debacle with the clicks thing, it could have been you.
I know the people that did it. I know
them.
because a lot of those people still work in these industries, and the guys that I used to work with. So I sort of have a very good idea what happened there. It's a laziness thing that happened there. There was no one, in my opinion, and I don't want to come under attack, but my personal feeling is it wasn't so much a racist act, although it was racist, than it was a negligence and slapped, because that ad looks like it was slapped together, man. You know what I mean? Like
you could have made it on your phone.
So I think it was a laziness thing on multiple levels. There's many, but I can tell you one thing: they're worried where they're sitting.
But I was thinking, what if it was like a sabotage vibe? What if, let's say, the marketing director from Unilever and the marketing, or they fired him, or they gave him a warning, or he's about to leave, or he doesn't like the marketing dude from Clicks, but he knows the guy who does the thing onto the websites. He's like, you know what? I'll show you. I'll do this thing. I'll push it through, and let's see how you'll survive this. That's a conspiracy theory, but it's very possible.
It's possible, bro. It sounds crazy, but I've seen things like that happen, especially with disgruntled employees. I've seen disgruntled employees try to frame their boss. I've seen that. I know people that got fired for trying to frame their boss for breaking down the system. Things like that happen. It happens a lot, more often than not. It actually does. It sounds crazy, but it does happen.
It could have happened, bro. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
let's get back to the comedy. So you met me, you met Jason and them. Do you remember your first gig? Where was your first time
My
on stage?
first when I came onto the scene, oh well, when I started being interested in doing stand up, I didn't know where to go, and Parker's Comedy was the most obvious place because it said comedy in the thing. So I went there, and I remember going watching, but I never went there before. I went there with the express intention of becoming a stand-up. So I went in, I sat, I watched, and you watch comics. Comics, you go, I could do better than that. That's what you think. That's how it was. And I was like, I can do this. So then I asked,
Right.
remember that time it was Melissa Fowler. She was managing the club, and I asked her to
Oh
get
yes, I
on.
remember.
Yeah, and that was around the time where Trevor wasn't just big; he was now hitting it big overseas because we saw him on Jay Leno. No one could believe it, and
All
at
right.
that moment, everyone thought they could be stand-ups. Remember that time? Then
It's
I
still,
came
it's
to
still
that.
happening now.
Oh, Bali's with patchwork leather jackets telling jokes. The queue was long. So I had to fight through a lot of dead weight. Owens go through, some Owens are terrible comics and they stay here forever. Some Owens are terrible comics and figure it out in 3 or 4 months. Hey, bro, there was a lot of 3 and 4 months Owens. Then eventually they put me on because the waiting list was so long, and then they said I must go to Carnival City, and I did my first gig, me, Hannes Brummer, and Stig. And I was
All right.
open. And I went on stage because it's Brakpan. We used to go on after the
After the
burlesque.
cabaret.
Go on. Immediately felt like I needed to do this thing in Afrikaans because these people are Afrikaans, and they laughed. So my first gig was a lekker gig. And then it made me even more less for the thing. And then I just
All right.
never stopped.
Okay. And then you left work, and then but you're saying
Now,
about
for
okay.
4 years before I left work, I was
Okay.
moonlighting, bro. No, my problem was that I had a great job and I was good at that job. I didn't necessarily like the job. That's the worst part of it. I loved comedy, but I was not gonna leave the comfort of my home and medical aid and cars just like that. So I
Right.
told myself I'm gonna work so hard that I make more money from comedy than this job for 3 months in a row. Then I'll go. And then
Oh yeah.
eventually that happened, and then I left. But it was like
Okay.
3
Because
years later.
all right. Because I rushed to leave work because I didn't find a job that I liked ever. And then your first time that you died on stage,
I remember,
the very first time.
bruh. I got a bit cocky, man. You know what I mean? Parkers, bro, same place. When you walk in and you're the open spot and you've been, because now I'm doing, because Parkers was close to my house, so I'm doing like 5-minute spots all the time because I used to just rock up. If people are there, I'm on. Every week I'm there. So I become blazing hot at this 5, right?
Right.
So you let yourself, your ego gets to you. That's one night I walk in and I see there's a banner outside. Park Joey will throw those fundraiser things or whatnot.
Right.
But I don't even look. I just like, oh, sharp. Don't go in. Straight backstage. Start chatting to the Owens. Listening. Not even listening properly. Ladies and gentlemen, your open spot, Alfred Adriaan. I open the door, bruh. Aunties. I'm talking about 56 up, like old women in their 60s. I'm talking about purple color washes. And here I'm talking about farting for 5 minutes. Yo! Silent as the night. When you go straight from the backstage to your car, home. Don't talk.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Sit in the shower. Those people didn't laugh, bro. They sucked. It felt like happiness was out of this room. It sucked out of the room. Terrible.
Like you didn't stick around to see like anybody else dies, or you didn't want to know that information.
I didn't want to know. It was horrible. I was on my way. Because other ones were doing well before me. I was the guy that died. If you ever catch one of those aunties, they will never believe I have a career.
But some people they can die like a lot. Like they can die
You know,
twice, three
think
times a
about it
month.
all the time.
Doesn't it? You don't you think that takes a lot? Like when you die, it helps you, right? So it's therapeutic in a way that your very next gig after you died, oh man, you are
Sure.
punchy. You know your timing points. You know where the laugh should be. If there's no laugh, you know how to add there to make sure there's a laugh there.
I
Some people
think
don't. They just die.
I think that thing you just described about the next gig, you extra sharp, that happens to good comics. When a good comic dies, they're very aware that they died. There's a consciousness that it didn't go well, and they work at the thing. But there's a lot of comics that don't have that consciousness. In fact, there is an overwhelming amount of comics that don't know that. An overwhelming amount. And so, and some of them are my friends and I like them, but the dying has become such a norm for them that they
Right.
don't see it as dying.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
come off stage, go, it's good tonight, eh? Then I go, terrible.
It wasn't.
It was terrible. Then the next light he goes on, destroys. And that person goes, that was great, eh? And gives those bra tips. I've seen that level of lack of
Of
self-awareness.
of
And
lack of awareness. And
lack,
yeah, because it changes you. It changes your DNA like that day. Like you said, me, I remember like I've done the same. The mouth. I don't understand because your mouth is dry. You start telling the punch. You start your gag with the punchline.
bruh, you
You
skip
open it.
because you're so panicky and you're so desperate for a laugh. You won't skip the whole premise setup and just go the punchline. Milky Bar. And then no one laughed. Because you didn't say why Milky Bar is funny. Because you were panicking. And then when that one dies, the next one dies, the next one dies. You know, the worst is when they're paying you to be there. Oh, God.
Yeah, bro.
Lying on
I
your
died at
arm.
I died at the Orbits. I was walking up on stage and I tripped over the drum kit, and I never recovered, bro. I think it was just I
Your
didn't
soul
recover.
hurt.
I tripped over the drum kit and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" But I think people looked at me. I was like, "This always acting like he didn't trip over the drum kits or something."
Yeah.
About when I
So
walked just up there.
it's completely about your head. It's about the space you go into. You know that. So
Yeah.
you go, oh fuck, you thinking, oh, I made a fool of myself. And you in comedy, I always tell people the best comedians are trying to replicate their own personalities as purely on stage as what they can. They're just trying to get all this nerves and all this stuff out of the way. So now
Right.
when that tripping up happens, you're not yourself. You're a pro, but you're not yourself. So you can't be richy and quirky and funny and gooi a wine liner. Your confidence is gone.
It's gone, bro.
It's gone.
Because you say hello like 5 times. So hello,
Yeah.
so hi, hello.
And that audience can smell you. They can
Yeah,
smell.
yeah.
You can go, nah,
And there's a band.
yeah,
The-
and the band is sitting there and they're behind you going, you know this move when I was here.
But I think like after this, I think the first show I do like after like a proper show, like I'm not gonna go out and do like these limited rooms at the moment because I don't want to bring this. But if there's a possibility of me getting some sort of disease now, I can't afford to bring the shit home, right? So with that, I'm only gonna like probably venture out when it's a little safer. But I think I'll probably just get on stage and just talk for like an hour. No, I'm not even talking about jokes. I probably will just talk.
Yeah, I think because you are who you are. As soon as you get on stage, the gears will start moving because it's not. We've only been out of it for 5-6 months, but you've been
Nice.
at it for 15 years. That muscle memory doesn't disappear in 5 months.
Yeah.
If
But it's
Usain
just like
Bolt
I don't see.
tomorrow is running in the Olympics, best believe they worried.
Yeah.
The other sprinters are going, oh fuck, you know.
Yeah. It's like when last ever seen that expectant face? You know that expectant face?
Yeah, that like it's Richie. Have you ever the best part is when you get to a gig where people don't expect you. Like it's in Durban where you popular and and they just bonus. That's the best that look. Because you know you can do anything with him, bruh. They're gonna laugh at anything. They love you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. But Durbanites are a lot of haters. We have to wrap now. This is our last minute, bruh. So I'll probably have to. I guess I'll see you in the streets sometime. Cian's,
I can sit far from you. We can have a beer.
Cian is jealous of our bromance. Cian actually jumps on stage herself. She's a performer as well. But
don't be jealous.
Yeah, she also realized very quickly that she wasn't.
It's better for you if you know. Nah. That's the best thing that can happen to you. What if you know, nah, this is not for me. This is not my thing. Because
so yeah, we have to wrap up now. We got DJ Sanks after this. Thanks a lot for popping in, bro. Thanks for being part of this.
I felt like we still have a lot to speak about.
We do have a lot, bro.
I'll come back in 6 episodes.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night.
Sharp, thanks.
You don't have to leave. We can